Good evening, this is Dr. Justina Agnieszka Chevalier. Now I am going to discuss, as promised, pain index. Pain index consists of and is derived from, in prior videos, described etiologies. And these I divided in two. First one is one from preferred in desire to have a child, loving in adoration relationship that is against the will of two, separated, and there is then faultiness established as such and prevented from pursuing. That's the first one. Second source is when unwanted sex is forced, when person has memory or any experience of serious reciprocity in desire that is typical to an adult and such love, and forced partners by harassment or such non-stop suggestions create another source number, I say 1.1, I divided it into two. And the second, I would say Roman 2, is from this social disparity in capacity, in enablement of person in own survival, not harm, not kill, as opposed to others, and persons are being forced to harm and kill to appear as inferior to others by these disparities in pursuit of job, disparities in pursuit of school, disparities in pursuit of also rewards for goodness. Rewards are offered for violence, cruelty, and inflicting of pain, gloating in expectations, and punishment for being good. And that I also divided into the one that is derived from direct realization of that being done intentionally in ignorance, and done intentionally also in resentment. And then also added to it as etiology in disparity, assumption and promotion in rumors or scientific material based on reputation or quoting majority, that some others or all others are inferior in inherent badness, and basing that on especially observation and seeking of such characteristics, which is what was done to my father, while impeding being good or liberated, and organizing social harassment to have such person cornered down in fear and confess to wrongdoing, to inflict harm or pain or kill. And that is also derived from DSM's distortion, complete distortion promoted by other person into forced confessions that are needed later on to be able to survive, contrasting in assumption that no righteous way is possible, attacks, physical and verbal ones, as well as social harassment and ostracism. And that is at fault of the system and society, and remediation that DSM-5 states as proposed would drag in with assumption of children born with wrongful or absent consciousness, and remediation by trapping, medicating for life, a assumption of superior and labeling as sick, and implementing such two persons is a crime significant to crimes that were present in Nuremberg trials and other trials, and it is derived from what in the ecosystem, and that is a permanent diagnosis, permanent one, we do to trapped animals, and how we itemized life, selling it for a fee to deserve survival. It is in such as I described way that whatever is being killed, raped, deprived of freedom of pursuit of non-killing or non-raping, or based on reputation, forced in exhaustion and in pain to kill and harm, then by such a state, in like-mindedness, expressed in language, projects itself into society, such as it was in the past many times happened in Rome and in many others, Greece, ancient Greece, and it's called insanity, group insanity. And that consists of having that etiology that adds to what I call pain index. To be able to know, because this is a self-help correctional instructive, to be able, wherever or whoever you are, to know what it is and how much you can pursue remediation, apologies from self, acceptance of such from others, how much you can pursue any sort of sexual activity or friendships, and how much tolerance you have for children, especially of other persons or forced at you, you need to calculate and establish pain index. I will now give an instructive how to do it. In Excel spreadsheet, if you have one, or piece of paper, make such question to yourself and ask, during the day, do it by yourself, alone, and in own privacy, to be honest and to be accurate. And know that I am not to verify such. This is to know self, how much you can by self-resolve, and then the limit, what it is that needs to be done, and who is causing obstacles, and then that can be remediated. So make that list and order in magnitude, and I will later on specify what that pain index manifests in self like. It is much worse than instinct to kill. And so from these two etiologies that I specified before, determine what causes in you and divide into order of severity of inflicting your mind and your body, as well as surprising you when you try to be righteous or do good, and divided it as follows. Where did I write it down? I was just drinking my tea and having some cookies that I baked to make sure that this is accurate. In pencil it was. Yes. First, you need to determine that pain index as when it is that during the time alone